Me Too Sexy, Releasing Your Sexual Blocks to Releasing Weight Challenge. I'm just going to start with our opening prayer, and then we're just going to launch full on into our muscle testing and our belief work. So let's do this. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended, that our pain be lifted, to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen. Namaste. Namaste, guys. Okay, so I ran a survey on my group a few months ago asking them some of their biggest blocks to being healthy and also some of their biggest blocks around getting support, right? Support with their health. And you know, out of 76 women, guys, 76 women that responded to that survey, all of them listed financial problems as the number one reason that they don't invest in their health. Now, I know that that's not true, right? But they don't know that that's not true. And most people are more willing to pay more for their car insurance than they're willing to invest into their bodies, really, which is pretty insane. Outside of surgery, like outside of cosmetic surgery, that's the case, where we literally think that vitamins are too expensive, or organic vegetables are too expensive, but we can afford the nice dress, or we can afford the extra skincare, or we can afford the car insurance, or we can afford the new car, the new house. When really, when you are out of health, right, that's when you're really in trouble. That's when things really start to go down the drain. So there's a real fear of having enough abundance to take care of your health. And that comes from different places. It comes from, like, for example, my family is originally Brazilian, and in Brazil, there is no healthcare. So a huge number of the people that are in debt in Brazil, it's because they didn't have money to pay for healthcare, right? It's like in America, just one night in A&E can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. So people have this really deep subconscious fear that health is too expensive and it's going to cost them everything, and they just don't have enough money to take care of their health. And for other people, it's really to do with a fear that a financial crisis is such a powerful thing that it can consume you. So how could you possibly be able to take care of your body or lose weight, right? Especially during the current economic times. You know, it's really important to explore fully how you may be allowing financial issues to get in your way. Now, why is finances and sexuality connected? Because base chakra, which is where your sexuality is connected with money, right? Base chakra is family, sexuality, finances. So when we're looking at what's really going on with financial blocks, they're very much connected to sexuality. Why? Because your ability to provide for yourself, for your children, for your partner, if you feel like that's been taken away from you, desperate people do desperate things, right? Desperate people do desperate things. And we also have some really strange, dark and twisty beliefs that we may think we need to be in a financial crisis in order to be loved, or in order to be I suppose worthy of good things in life. Okay, so it's important to explore how you may be allowing financial issues to get in the way, both of you becoming more sexually attractive, but also of you being able to release the weight. Okay, so we're just going to do some muscle testing. I want you guys to just lean your body gently forwards and say, this is my yes. Lean your body gently backwards and say, this is my no. Come back to center. Say yes, yes, yes. Your body should go gently forwards. Say no, no, no. Your body should go gently backwards. Okay. And then you're going to say out loud, when I'm in a financial crisis, I am loved. When I'm in a financial crisis, I feel loved. When I'm in a financial crisis, people fuss over me. I need to be in a financial crisis to be thin. I can lose weight in a financial crisis. No. I need to be in a financial crisis to allow others to show me that they love me. I need to get into a financial crisis to lose weight. I need to get out of a financial crisis to lose weight. I have no control over my life. I need to get out of a financial crisis to have control over my sexuality. I've lost control of my finances. Control of my life has been taken from me. I have given away control over my life and body. I have to give away control to survive. I've given control to my parents. I've given control to my husband. I've given control to my clients. I've given control to money. I've given control to my job. Good things are kept from me. A great life is kept from me. I'm not good enough to be my ideal weight. I'm not worthy of being my ideal weight. I'm not allowed to be my ideal weight. I won't allow myself to lose weight. Losing weight is not allowed until I'm financially free. Okay, so guys, where do you feel that money's blocking your progress on your health journey? Okay, be really, really honest with me. Is it stopping you from investing in the juicing or the organic food or in someone to support you on the healing process? Do you literally go and reach for that vitamin and go, oh my God, I can't believe how expensive that is? Do you feel guilty because you could only afford healthy food for yourself, but not for everybody inside your house? Tell me what comes up for you when we talk about finances as a health block, okay? Now, a lot of people also ask me around money because I never undercharged for my health or healing services. And one of the biggest reasons that I charge for health and healing services and I charge a premium price is not just because I get incredible results, but because I know a secret that I'm going to share with you guys. And that secret is no investment, no commitment, right? So most people have paid £30 here, £10 there, £20 here for exercise, diet, and nutrition programs, which they never even open or look at or watch or get out the box. Why? Because they don't have any skin in the game, right? They don't have any skin in the game. They have not made an investment. They've not made a real commitment. They're not scared of losing £10 or £20 or £30. They don't feel bad if they spend that money and they then don't use that time appropriately, right? So when you undercharge for health services or when you only pay a tiny amount for the people that are helping you improve your health, your investment is what gets returned to you. So when you only put £30 in, for starters, most people don't feel worthy of getting a healthy, beautiful body out of that because, that's less than they would spend on a night out at the cinema. It's less than they would spend at a meal in a restaurant. And your health is worth a huge amount. And you know that, right? You absolutely 100% know that. So there's this massive discrepancy for most people. And this is also why they don't follow through. No investment, no commitment. And I only want people that are going to take their health seriously. Otherwise, they're wasting my time as well as wasting your time, right? And that really, really isn't good. I have no desire to work with people that don't really want to get healthy. And it would take me away from working with the people that I could help the most. Okay. Isabel saying, money crisis stopped me from taking better care of myself. Yeah, a lot of people have that one. Today, I found the genetic belief I'm too poor to be sick, so I guess having abundance might be risky. So this idea that you're too poor to be sick, normally, like you said, leads people to hiding their illnesses. It doesn't lead you to it leads them to ignoring their health problems instead of addressing them. And very often it stops, like they don't go to the doctor. I had a grandparents and aunts, and I still have a husband who point blank refuses to go and get a diagnosis or go to the doctor because where they're from, the doctor comes with a hefty bill attached. Right? So this idea that I'm too poor to be sick doesn't mean that you don't get sick. It means that you ignore illnesses or you spiritually bypass illnesses because you don't feel you have the money to create the health that you need. For healthy food and supplements is where I spend a big part of my income. Good. I just feel extremely frustrated when I don't have enough money to get my supplements, for example. So there's probably self-sabotage there. They're very connected, right? Money and health are very connected. Root chakra, right? Life force itself, survival and thriving. So when you don't have enough money to get your supplements, you're looking at, why don't you feel worthy of being valued for your services? Why don't you feel worthy of somebody investing financially in you? Why don't you feel that you are of value or of worth? And anyone that's done theta healing knows that viruses are around worthiness, right? So when you don't feel worthy of good health, when you don't feel worthy or your value isn't increasing, or you don't feel like you have something to contribute, then you block the abundance coming in. And it's a vicious cycle, because the less you have coming in, the more you worry, the more you worry, the less you have coming in, because people can feel that lack. They can feel you panicking. They can feel you struggling. And that means that there's no space for you to help them. There's no space for you to be there for them if you can't even be there for yourself, right? You can't give what you don't have. And that's what we are looking at addressing inside this, financial blocks to weight release, because that stress, that cortisol pumping through your bloodstream and the adrenaline actually tells your body, hold on to the weight. Do not let go of the weight. It's not safe to let go of the weight. If we have a famine, if there's not enough food, then you will die, right? So we have to hold on to that weight. And cortisol literally tells your body to take the sugar and store it as fat, right? Instead of using it. So it tells your body to make it into fat when you are stressed. And a huge amount of our stress comes from financial crisis, right? Or from feeling like we don't have enough, or from poverty consciousness. A huge amount of illness comes from that. And I'm not just talking about physical illness, I'm talking about mental illness, particularly around this time of year, right? Where there's a lot of pressure to give gifts, where there's a lot of pressure to buy stuff, or to have a certain standard of life, and to give your family certain things. That's a lot of pressure, particularly on the men who are told they're supposed to provide, or mothers that are wanting to give their kids particular toys, etc. So that's the reason I'm bringing it up, is because it's holiday season, and a lot of people are getting sick because of the financial pressure that's on them, and not even realizing that that's the case. Most people put on between 5 to 15 pounds in the holiday season, between 5 to 15 pounds, and they have no idea that it's connected to financial stress, right? They think it's because of the Christmas parties and because they're going out and they're overeating. They don't understand that the reason they're going out and overeating is because they're suppressing the financial stress that they're under at this time of year with food. Okay. For me, health looks like to be more in nature and eat from nature. And I was a kid, when I was a kid, it was for free from the garden. And now I have to pay for at a moment in nature and things like that. Yeah, different people have different beliefs around food. So if you grew up like me in the countryside in Scotland, where food was scarce and there wasn't, it wasn't is Scotland, even though it's beautiful, there's not really a lot of space to grow things. The weather just isn't conducive. It's a very cold, harsh climate. Whereas like where I was born in Brazil, growing things was easy, right? Everything grew. Things even grew in places they weren't supposed to grow because of the heat and the humidity, which is basically water, right? And sunlight. So the energy was very charged. Whereas in Scotland, it was very hard to grow things. You would have to have a greenhouse. You would have to plan for things in advance. So the idea that food is free. Food has never been free, right? Nature provides food, but it costs, right? It costs nutrition, it costs energy. It takes the plants in nature a lot to produce the foods that we need. And the way that humans and animals survive is that we move, right? So the animals, if you look at a herd of elephants or herd of zebra, for example, they will move into a particular area. They will eat the food in that particular area. And when the food is finished, they will then move on to the next area. And this creates almost like a crop rotation, the same way that we do inside a field. We plant the field, we reap the field, and then we plant something else in the field. And it's the same way that it works when you're just eating from nature. You might find an apple tree, for example, and then you would eat a bunch of apples. And when you were finished, you'd have to move on because you can't survive without food. So you have to keep searching. So there's this constant movement looking for new food and it being provided. So the food didn't cost money, as it were, but it cost time and energy and resources to find it, locate it, especially whilst it was still ripe and whilst it was still good and whilst it was still available. And that's what our mostly women did. You know, men would do the trading and the traveling, and women would do the growing and the preserving of the foods and the fruits that they found for when the harsh winter months kind of came around. If anthropologically speaking, that's why salt was so valuable. That's why sugar was so valuable, because they were preservatives, and they meant that your family wouldn't starve to death during the winter, right? But this idea that food is free is actually one of the biggest reasons that humans then use to abuse nature. It costs nature something, the vitamins, the minerals, the energy inside the soil to bear fruit, right? And you literally pull those minerals out of the earth. So whatever you take, you have to put back. And in nature, that works very naturally. You eat the fruit, you poo, you put the minerals and vitamins back into the ground, and that's the cycle, right? That's how it works. Where in our current culture, that's not how it works, right? You take something, but you don't put it back. And that's where the earth can become very depleted, right? And very weak. And it's the same thing with our bodies. What you take out, you have to put back in. And that's where we talk about deep nutrition, not superficial nutrition. And this is also about real abundance, right? Real abundance, not fake abundance, which is fast food or restaurant meals that look really appetizing and might even taste really good, but they're actually stripping your body of nutrition and minerals and vitamins, which creates lack, right? A lack of hormones, a lack of mental health, a lack of food for your poor gut bacteria that has to break down foods that aren't really food, that were never food, right? So all of those um, different illusions are coming into play, right? And that's what you guys are telling me kicks off around food being free, and this idea that food is too expensive now the way that it is. But then it's it's not just interesting, it's kind of dark, because we get taught that, right? It's crazy that you can go down to McDonald's and get a whole Happy Meal for 99 pence, and that you couldn't even make a salad for that amount. The average salad will cost you about £3.50. Your liver meditation is awesome. You're very welcome. I love clearing out people's livers. It's one of my favorite pastimes. It might be a weird thing to say, but then I am a medical intuitive. Okay. Okay, so we've done muscle testing for those beliefs. You guys for those of you guys that had those toxic beliefs around needing to be in financial crisis to lose weight, around needing to be in financial crisis to be thin, around needing to be in financial crisis or eating your financial crisis or because of financial crisis, can we release those on all the different levels, please? Just say yes if you like that. We're going to pull them all out. Okay, breathe, guys. Okay, that's looking so much better. Where do you get the liver meditation, please? You get it on YouTube. You get it on my YouTube channel, guys. F. Antonia is saying, I get bored with preparing my own healthy food. I consciously... Oh, gonna have to go back up. I consciously choose my work because I love my work. Is self-sabotage that food preparing bores me and I either order in. Really grateful for you, Sky. This is about support, my darling. So you can't do everything, and that's what it's an act of nurturing. So the more successful that you become in your work, the more you hire people to support you, the same way that you would hire someone to come in and clean your house. You can't do everything. It's a full-time job to be a housekeeper. It's a full-time job to be a cook. So I love to cook, but the more my career takes off, the less time I have for it. It's still something I will do on the weekends with my family, but it's not something I have time for every single day. And that means I either have to order in healthy meals, and that can mean meal prepping in advance on a Sunday, or it can mean literally ordering from food services like prescription food services where they do fresh, organic, vegan soup straight to your door. or it can mean making big batches of soup and freezing them, or it can mean drinking a lot of smoothies. I'm an absolute sucker for vegan protein smoothies when I'm working really hard. So I don't think that it's self-sabotage. I think it's a lack of support and a lack of self-nurturing for you, and a recognition that you're worthy of more support as you step into supporting others in a different way. And we all play many roles in life. It's not that that one role is more important than the other. It's allowing those roles to change and being supported in those role changes. And women, historically, because of all the sexism, are more hardwired to think they have to do everything and take on a bigger burden, and that's not healthy, right? It's just not healthy. It's not healthy to work a full day, come home exhausted, and then do the laundry, the children, and the meal. You will be exhausted, right? So it's allowing that balance to take place, where if you're working all day, then yeah, you can order in, but make sure you're ordering in from somewhere healthy, which was very easy for me when I lived in London. Not so easy now that I'm in a farm in the middle of nowhere. And that's now where I do meal prep. For me, Sunday is dance around the kitchen, in a giant white shirt, or, a flannel shirt, and, have fun making what I want for the rest of the week. And but I enjoy cooking. If I didn't, I would have hired someone in to help me do that, because it is a very time consuming thing, right? So it's looking at allowing yourself to receive support and not over giving, not feeling like you have to take care of everyone. And Ditya saying, I tried your meditation, it really works. Lots of love. Thank you. Yes, they really work. They really, really do work. Can I join the Zoom call about 6:30 at 2? So guys, we have our I'm Too Sexy, which is healing your sexual trauma, blocking you from weight release tonight. We're going to have our hot seat healings and our downloads and our live Q&A. It's a completely free mastermind. You're very welcome to join us. And we're doing it at 6:30. Yes, you can join. You can join 30 minutes late. We're going to be going for at least an hour and a half, so you'll still get plenty of good juicy stuff if you want to join later on. My team will just let you in, because I'll be in full flow by then. Thank you for your time and energy you put into your videos. I do my best. So I'm really grateful for your appreciation. It genuinely helps, especially when I'm tired. I'm sleep training my little boy right now. And that means I have to go in every 5 minutes whilst he's learning how to sleep, bless him. And that means I'm pretty tired in the mornings. But I love being here with you guys and sharing too. Okay, so we've talked about why financial blocks to health are a problem. We've talked about how if you don't invest in your health, then you won't commit to it, because there's no pain associated to not following through and following on your goals. We've talked about how very often a financial crisis can be the only time we feel permission to be thin, or the only time that we feel like we don't have to make time and space for our health, because the financial aspect is more important than everything else. We talked about how it blocks our sexuality, because very often we won't have children, we won't feel safe and relaxed making love or connecting with our partner when we're under large levels of financial stress. And we also talked about how it can affect our mental health, okay, by causing depression or anxiety, or even suicidal urges, if our worth is connected to our ability to earn. We also talked about, particularly at this Christmas season, how so many people put on between 5 to 15 pounds because of the financial pressure that they're under, and they don't even really understand that that is why they are eating, right? Is to numb their feelings. So anybody that has those fears or those triggers coming up around finances and food, can we release those now? Would that be okay? Or just say yes if you'd like those released. Okay, so can we download you that it's safe for you to get a financial education? That you're worthy and deserving of being financially free? That it's safe for you to include your health in your monthly budget? That your health is an investment. So the food you buy, the organic food, the recipes that you learn, the support that you get in staying healthy are worth doing that. There we go. It's worth committing to those action steps. Would you like to know how to live without repressing your financial anxiety with food, without eating your financial anxiety or your financial trauma or your financial crisis? Can we free you from creating financial crisis so that you'll be loved, so that you'll be worthy of good things? Okay, that's looking a lot better. Can we show you what it feels like to take control of your food and your finances, of your feelings and your finances? And can we release any ancestral or inherited trauma that's inside your blood, that's inside your DNA, from times where your ancestors or family members got into a lot of debt because of their health problems and issues? Can I release that grief, please? There we go. Just breathe for me. Gosh, that's a lot. And anywhere where your financial fears are blocking your sexuality, your ability to connect with your partner, with yourself, your ability to feel desirable, anywhere where it's affecting your mental health and therefore your physical health, anywhere where you're punishing yourself with food for your financial situation, can we release it now? Okay, guys, I love you so much. I am going to pop over to the masterclass. I'll see you guys over there in half an hour. We are running our weight loss from within program starting in January, where it's 3 months of an incredible container where I'm taking you guys through releasing your subconscious and spiritual blocks to having your perfect body and your perfect weight. So if that resonates with you, if you're feeling, I get this, girl, and this is something I've been struggling with for years and I've failed at every diet that I try at, then come and talk to me, because I think this will be an incredible fit for you. But we need to find out, right? And that's what that conversation is for. I don't bite, I don't do pressure sales or anything like that. But I never ever thought I'd be doing a course on weight loss, but it contributes so much to illness and disease, guys, that I just can't ignore it. So we're going to go on a deep dive, really clearing your neglect wound, that part of you that makes you neglect yourself, neglect your body, so that you can move back into alignment with the divine perfection that's within you, and then manifest that divine perfection in every one of your cells and in your physical body, so you can inhabit a healthy body that you deserve. I will see you guys over in the Me Too Sexy Masterclass. I've got 86 women already piling on to join, so I'm going to go in and talk to them, and we only have up to 100 spaces, so if you want on, come and click on the link and sign yourself up. I love you guys so much. See you tomorrow.